I was able to forgive and be grateful to those kids that bullied me to the point where I felt completely left out when I first came to England. And they gave me those feelings for such a long time that I still felt them as I sat next to my daughter, like 30 years later, trying to teach her how to read and write. My name is Arub Sakib, and I help mothers home birth and homeschool with joy and ease using Meridian Therapy. And the most amazing thing, the thing I love most about this technique, why I was so into learning it, is because it literally is forgiveness on steroids. You don't even have to think about it. You don't have to say, yeah, but can I? Do I really want to? It is actually a formula, just like how paracetamol is a formula. You know it'll work more or less every time for how to forgive someone, even if they caused excruciating damage and pain. I mean, I'm still remembering it now that my next lineage is starting. And I almost poured all of that grief and sadness and anger and frustration into her had I sat with it continuously. So I forgave those kids that made it so hard for me by mocking me, making fun of me, calling me names, and just making life really difficult for somebody who just arrived into a brand new country by pressing, we call this point 2 on the left. It is the anger and frustration point, and it is also the forgiveness point. Because normally when I am unable to forgive someone, it's because I'm really mad at them. I feel betrayed. I feel frustration. I feel this persistent suppression around them. Like I'm not being honest with myself. If I forgive them, how could I let it slip? So I'm going to, instead of holding on to those feelings, pretending like they're not there, or expressing them, which is just going to cause more problems, I'm going to literally just breathe them out. And I'll show you how to do that. So you press point 2 on the left by just pressing it against the tendon, lift the other 2 fingers up, put this open hand across your forehead, and just breathe out the feeling of anger and frustration that you feel right in that very first memory of the time this person did this to you. In my case, the very first moment that I was faced with these boys who were picking on me for speaking differently to them. Be in my body, see what I saw, feel how I felt, hear what I heard. And imagining a green light to the right side of my spine, just around where my stomach is. And picturing that light moving from the right side down my spine, gathering in a bowl at the base of my spine, like a bowl of green light as it fills to the top. Watching it go 10%, 50%. When it's 100% full, from all the areas in my body where I felt that tingling sensation, when I think about the anger I felt in response to those words, those actions. Breathing it all down, allowing it to move from that bowl, pouring down the 2 channels of my legs, through the doors of my feet, into the center of the earth like a waterfall of green light. As I breathe out the feeling of frustration and resentment and the aggression, almost like I want to wring their necks for what they said, sensitive to their aggression in their words and their actions, and just instead of reacting to it, mirroring it, defending myself, breathing it all out. Feeling betrayed and a sense of depression. How could they? Why would they? Instead of looking for a reason, allowing all that depressed feeling to enter into the base of my spine, gathering it all there like a bowl of green light, and breathing it all out. Emotional repression, and feeling stubborn, like they kept doing it again and again, sensitive to their stubbornness, and me being stubborn to hold on to it, like I just don't want to forgive. And instead of acting on that stubborn feeling and making more of it, literally in my daughter, just breathe it all out. And when I feel a shift, I would relax and bring my arms down. And then I would muscle test to see I can forgive those boys who first bullied me when I was trying to learn English for the first time. Strong. And the next thing I would do is I can be grateful for those kids that bullied me when I first came to England and tried to learn English. And I would literally use the tapping sequence to say, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself, even though I'm unable, unwilling, and unworthy, of being grateful to those kids for making it so difficult when I first came to England to learn a new language, because it made me who I am today. I deeply and profoundly love, honor, and accept myself, even though I'm unable, unwilling, and unworthy to be grateful to those children who bullied me and made it really hard for me to assimilate into my new culture, new language when I first came to England. Because it made me who I am, even though it made me who I am. And I would continue that sequence. You can find, if you comment below gratitude, I will send you the link to the full sequence. And the reason why I would want to be grateful for something, even though at the time it limited me, I wouldn't have it any other way. I would be in a total state of acceptance that it happened, because I realized, had it not been for that, I wouldn't be sitting here attempting to homeschool my daughter in the first place, because I wanted to make sure that the experience she had was completely different to the one I had, and that she was sheltered and she was loved and she felt like it was easy. It's amazing that I went through all the external effort to set up the classroom, get the funding from, all my extra activities that I did to make sure I could secure the resources, make sure I had time freedom, and the emotions were still there. So I would literally be firing the same experience that I had within her in the exact environment where I did not want her to associate those feelings. So unless the feelings are emptied out as well, there's no point building all this gilded cage, basically, as long as the heart is still stuck in that state of being ungrateful, being unable to forgive, and just feeling tight and stressed out. Like, why would I want her to be stressed in this space? I want her to love it, to own it, to feel like she can express herself fully in it, to have her full autonomy in this space. And that's why I love this technique and I love sharing it, because I want your kids to experience the same thing.